country afford both war and disaster? The hurricane victims outraged because their insurance will not pay to fix their homes. Did they read the fine print? Bring on the lawyers. Medicine on the cutting edge, the new digital mammogram that is more effective in catching cancer. What to ask your doctor. And do you know this sound? Some people say it's as close to the heart as music can get. Our person of the week.
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight. Reporting from ABC News headquarters, Bob Woodruff.
Good evening, everyone. We start tonight with an issue that is going to affect just about everyone in this country. President Bush laid out a broad vision last night for rebuilding property and lives along the Gulf Coast. Now the cost. Today, one influential conservative think tank estimated that the effort is going to help drive the budget deficit to $750 billion within the next 10 years. Mr. Bush said today he will not raise taxes to pay for it. The money will have to come from spending cuts. Deciding which programs will be trimmed and by how much is going to be a very delicate political problem. Here's ABC's Linda Douglas.
Inside Washington's National Cathedral, evacuees, rescue workers, and political leaders heard the president's message. Rebuilding the Gulf may also help heal the nation.
As we clear away the debris of a hurricane, let us also clear away the legacy of inequality.
America can no longer look the other way, preached the powerful Bishop T.D. Jakes.
It teaches us that we can no longer be a nation that overlooks the poor and the suffering and continue past the ghetto on our way to the Mardi Gras.
But there is no consensus on how to pay for the disaster or its price. Today, a senior White House official did not dispute estimates that rebuilding and relief will cost at least $200 billion. Whatever it costs, he said, it's coming from the American taxpayer.
So you bet it's going to cost money. But I'm confident we can handle it. It's going to mean that we're going to have to make sure we cut unnecessary spending.
Some Republicans have proposed cuts that may be unpopular with many groups, delaying the Medicare prescription drug program for a year, cutting $24 billion from the highway bill, and cutting $15 billion in programs, mostly from health and education.
And we don't want to transfer what we're doing for the Gulf states to our grandchildren. We're willing to make some sacrifice.
The president's promise not to raise taxes may not be enough to satisfy those critics in his party who are complaining that government spending has gone up 33% on Mr. Bush's watch, Bob.
Linda Douglas in Washington, thank you. And while the government in Washington is figuring out where to get the money, there are many others who are looking for ways to spend it. In the urgency to save lives and house the evacuees, huge contracts have already been awarded without competing bids. As we said last night from New Orleans, President Bush laid out the broad outlines of a spending plan. Now come the details. Dan Harris is in New Orleans. Good evening, Dan.
Bob, good evening. Even before the president promised last night that this battered city would, quote, rise again, there are already battles raging among state, local, and federal officials about who will control the process and the purse strings.
Today in New Orleans, many echoed the recent sentiments of one Louisiana politician. Decisions about rebuilding should be made on the banks of the Mississippi, not on the banks of the Potomac.
They screwed up the relief effort, getting these people out of the city. They're going to screw up with the money.
The mayor has made it clear, as the leader of the city of New Orleans, he will be driving the car.
But rebuilding will be paid for with federal dollars from taxpayers across the country, which is why the White House and Congress want some say. And there's also the issue of this state's long history of public corruption.
Corruption is going to run rampant with contractors. Contractors are going to pay people off.
While the president has said most decisions will be made by local officials, one former Louisiana senator is calling for a national commission of experts to coordinate.
We cannot just throw money up in the air and hope that it somehow falls down on New Orleans and does some good.
Whoever ultimately takes the reins will face wrenching choices about whether to build or bulldoze in certain areas.
Mucky, muddy, smelly. It's just not a good place to be right now.
Today, Marines made sure no one remained on the aptly named Flood Street, which until recently was covered by contaminated water.
Do you think anybody's going to live here ever again?
In my assessment, no.
Once the politicians decide how and where to rebuild, They must confront an issue they've avoided for years, building flood walls and levees that are stronger than this one, which broke, destroying this neighborhood. It may cost billions to adequately defend a city that is sinking as the water around it rises.
To rebuild New Orleans as it was would be a mistake. We would set ourselves up for just another disaster in 10 years, 20 years.
Some planners say low-lying areas like the 9th Ward here on the east side of the city should be allowed to be returned to marshland, which would act as a buffer between floodwaters and the city. Some planners say this would be a good way to protect the city, but that, of course, Bob, would mean that many people who live in these areas, who are mostly black and mostly poor, would never be able to return home.
So far to go still. Dan Harris in New Orleans tonight. Thank you. And one more note about rebuilding. It appears that many people do not want to go back. A Washington Post survey of New Orleans residents living in emergency shelters in Houston found that only 43% want to return to their homes. The insurance industry says it will likely pay as much as $60 billion in claims from Katrina, but it's estimated that at least 60% of homeowners in the hurricane zone had no coverage for flooding. The problem, the standard homeowners policy does not cover such water damage. Yesterday, Mississippi's Attorney General sued insurers, hoping to get them to pay for flood damages. Meanwhile, many homeowners are devastated. Here's ABC's Jim Avila.
The front lines of Gulf Coast reconstruction are crawling with insurance adjusters, making decisions that could mean a new home or bankruptcy for homeowners wiped out during Hurricane Katrina.
We're looking to see if we got shingles missing, blown out windows upstairs.
If they see shingles missing and blown out windows, that is good news for homeowners. If they see watermarks, not so good, because the insurance industry sees Katrina as two separate events. The windstorm, covered under hurricane riders and policies, and then the flood, not covered.
I've been issued a letter of denial from my insurance company.
Paul Leonard's adjuster found a watermark just about chest high, evidence the insurance company insists of a flood.
It's not a flood. It is tide coming in from the Gulf and wind pushing it.
Leonard is preparing to sue, and he's hired firepower. Richard Scruggs won the $200 billion case against Big Tobacco.
We're going to do all in our power to make them do the right thing.
Rounding up clients and making sure they never use the word flood.
It's a hurricane-driven storm surge. That's what it is. It's not a flood.
The insurance industry says it's sorry about the flood damage, but people need to read their policies.
We can't, unfortunately, confuse compassion with contracts.
The homeowners say their best evidence is common sense, that 100-year-old oak trees like this one don't fall to the ground in a flood alone. Dr. Randy Roth's landmark 100-year-old home simply no longer exists. Roth paid for separate government flood insurance, but most homeowners don't realize it's capped at $250,000, a small number when it comes to waterfront property. And unless his insurance company agrees there was windstorm damage and not just flood, he can't rebuild.
If we didn't have 145-mile-an-hour winds, we wouldn't have had any water in our homes.
Homeowners are now bracing for the second hurricane, a perfect storm of lawsuits as they battle over million-dollar semantics. Was Katrina's path of destruction caused by wind or water? Jim Avila, ABC News, Pascagoula, Mississippi.
We are also beginning to learn the extent of the environmental impact of Katrina. 7 million gallons of oil may have spilled. That's 2/3 the amount dumped by the Exxon Valdez in Alaska. As for the miles and miles of muck, ABC sent a sample from St. Bernard Parish to a lab. It had elevated levels of lead, mercury, and oil, and the sewage bacteria count was off the charts. When we return, the most complicated election in history, 5,800 political candidates and 1,200 donkeys to carry the ballots. Democracy in Afghanistan. Medicine on the cutting edge, the new mammograms that are much more effective in detecting breast cancer. Will there be enough machines to meet the demand? And an American original, Mississippi sure needs his music now. Our Person of the Week.
At 6'4", 220 pounds, Bob's a formidable man. But he was no match for something less than 1/millionth his size. It KO'd Bob so fast, he didn't know what hit him. It was a clot. Like Bob, if you've been hospitalized with heart-related chest pain or a certain type of heart attack, what doctors call ACS, chances are you've had a clot. But now, Bob's doctor is helping increase Bob's protection against heart attack and stroke by putting Bob on Plavix. Plavix, in combination with aspirin and other heart medicines, helps provide greater protection against heart attack and stroke than aspirin and other heart medicines alone by helping keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you shouldn't use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase. To minimize this risk, talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix. Additional rare but serious side effects could occur.
Ask your doctor about Plavix today, because no matter how formidable you are, you're no match for a dangerous clot.
The artist, Mrs. Laura Bender. The art, homemade chicken noodle soup made with Swanson broth instead of water. Swanson starts with real chicken stock, perfectly blended with vegetables and seasoning. Swanson broth. Replace water with flavor.
Life is sweet, 'cause lucky me, I've got a Splenda daddy.
All the sweetest dads know about Splenda. The no-calorie sweetener made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar. Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda. So dads can even cook and bake with it. If they can cook and bake, that is.
There's more good news for those with arthritis pain. According to a recent survey, orthopedic doctors prefer Aleve over other leading brands for effective relief of minor arthritis pain. Ask your doctor about the good news. Ask your doctor about Aleve.
You gelling? No telling how much I'm gelling. You gelling? I'm like mud gelling. I'm so gelling. Quit yelling. We're gelling. Right.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make any shoe feel outrageously comfortable. Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
At Stouffer's, we flash freeze our vegetables soon after they're picked. It takes a little extra effort, but we think it's worth it. See what's cooking at Stouffer's.
So much attention has been focused on the hurricane, but on Sunday, Afghanistan will hold its first legislative election since the Taliban was ousted. Afghans will elect a lower house of parliament and councils in each of the country's 34 provinces. It could be one of the most confusing elections in history. ABC's David Wright is in Kabul tonight.
Plastered on buildings, shattered by wars, hopeful faces, would-be public servants. In Kabul, the posters are everywhere. The candidates are a fascinating mix. Most are novices. On local TV, their ads come rapid fire. One young woman promises to demilitarize the country. Another candidate boasts he speaks 4 languages. Abdul Salam Raketti is a former Taliban general. He spent 8 months in U.S. detention in Guantanamo Bay. Now, he's campaigning in Kandahar. The UN is calling this the most complicated election in history. 5,800 candidates running in 69 separate races. This in a country where the majority of the population can't read and where people have voted at most only once before. Last year, they elected Hamid Karzai president. This week, he told us this election makes that campaign look simple.
Are you worried about the potential for confusion?
Yes. Yes, we were even worried about confusion with 17 candidates for the presidential election. Now we have 5,800.
Afghanistan is still so lacking in infrastructure, just distributing the ballots is a logistical nightmare. 1,200 donkeys will go to the most remote regions. There are no political parties. Each candidate has a symbol, a visual aid for illiterate voters, a stethoscope for one man, an empty glass, a TV set, and a cellular phone. For the candidates, it's a challenge to break through. Shukriya Barzai takes her platform for women's rights directly to the streets, to a mostly male audience.
I'm not afraid from anything. Nothing.
The total cost of this process, $160 million. The election, like most things here, is paid for by the international community. David Wright, ABC News, Kabul.
And we'll find out how it goes on Sunday. When we come back, women and breast cancer. A new digital imaging machine spots breast cancer earlier, why it's not readily available.
World News Tonight and Medicine on the Cutting Edge. Brought to you by Nexium.
Me?
I'm a problem solver. One problem I thought I'd solved, my acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn. But when I went back to my doctor, he told me over time stomach acid had damaged the lining of my esophagus. He prescribed Nexium. Said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. Nexium healed the erosions in my esophagus. And one prescription Nexium pill a day keeps me healed and relieves my heartburn. My doctor did say other serious stomach conditions may still exist, and headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium. Even the best problem solvers need a little help sometimes.
Ask your doctor about Nexium, the healing purple pill.
If you're thinking about joint replacement surgery, here's an important question to consider. Which implant is right for your specific needs? Only your doctor knows for sure. He also knows that Biomet offers the widest range of implant choices and sizes available today. Is Biomet right for you? Ask your doctor. To learn more, visit our website or call for a free brochure. Biomet, advanced science for real living.
My mom has arthritis. Taking Bear keeps her music playing. My brother has a bad knee. Taking Bear keeps his game going. And what really amazed me was when Bear helped my father keep living. He took it during a heart attack. Bear helped save his life. Nothing else I know does so much. So when I'm in pain, what do you think I'm going to choose?
Genuine Bear, like no other pain reliever in the world.
What cooks like butter, spreads like butter, and has a fresh dairy taste like butter, without the cholesterol and high saturated fat? Smart Balance Buttery Spread. Smart Balance just received another Best Taste Award and is endorsed by professional chefs. It's the only spread with a patented balance of fats to help increase HDL good cholesterol and avoids trans fat naturally, not artificially as some spreads do. Smart Balance. You're going to love that buttery taste.
The artist, Mrs. Laura Bender. The art, homemade chicken noodle soup made with Swanson broth instead of water. Swanson starts with real chicken stock, perfectly blended with vegetables and seasoning. Swanson broth. Replace water with flavor.
Monday, they counted on the government for insurance, the latest blow for hurricane victims. Plus, school started and now they're banning eggs, berries, even milk. Are kids more allergic or are schools going too far? Don't miss our series, Schools Back, on World News Tonight.
There was an announcement late today that Vice President Cheney will have surgery to treat an aneurysm, a bulge in an artery behind his right knee. An aide said the surgery is elective and will be performed next weekend. We are told the aneurysm needs to be addressed so it does not become a problem over time for the Vice President. There's important medical news for women tonight. A major study released today found the new digital mammogram machines are significantly better at spotting cancer in many women. But there's a catch. There aren't enough of the new machines to go around. ABC's John McKenzie with medicine on the cutting edge.
Researchers said the findings from this study should change the way tens of millions of women are screened for breast cancer.
More cancers could be found using digital than film.
There is nothing different about the exam itself. The equipment looks the same, feels the same. But while traditional X-rays use film, digital mammograms produce images on a computer screen where they can be enhanced or magnified.
This image can be manipulated so that you can change the appearance of the dark tissue and the light tissue and allow us to tell differences between them more readily. This image can be zoomed and a small area magnified and manipulated so that you can see subtle changes in the tissue that you might otherwise not appreciate.
For 32-year-old Carol Buskin with a family history of breast cancer, getting a digital mammogram means peace of mind.
I feel like I'm doing all that I can to be proactive, so I try not to let it worry me. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be a whole lot, more worried.
In the study of 42,000 women, researchers found digital mammography detected up to 28% more cancers in women 50 and under, or those who had dense breast tissue.
The kind of cancers that we miss are those that are in a dense breast setting, and particularly in younger women.
The big challenge now for screening centers is buying and installing enough new digital machines to meet the expected demand. Although they've been available for the last 4 years, only 8% of mammogram machines in the U.S. are digital. While most insurance plans will cover the test, most hospitals have been reluctant to spend the $300,000 for the equipment without clear evidence it's worth it. Now, finally, they have the proof they were looking for. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
And you can get more information on detecting breast cancer and the new mammograms at abcnews.com. One of the great international art thefts of recent years was solved today. In Denmark, police raided a hotel room and caught 4 men in the act of showing Rembrandt's self-portrait to a potential buyer. Hours later in Los Angeles, the FBI announced that Renoir's Young Parisienne had been recovered. The paintings, both masterpieces, were stolen from Sweden's National Museum 5 years ago. All priceless. When we come back, music that defines America. Our Person of the Week.
World News Tonight and Person of the Week. Brought to you by Walmart.
You buy ginger ale at Walmart's everyday low prices. It arrived on a Walmart truck and traveled over 140 miles from a Walmart distribution center, where it was processed by over 1,000 Walmart associates and moved over 10 miles of conveyor, over 230,000 cases that same day. Why send ginger ale through one of the most efficient distribution systems ever conceived? To keep prices low for you. And we're all proud to be a part of it.
Noble competitors, later today, what will you all want? A comfortable ride home. This is the Kia Amante Premium Sedan. People of power, it has power everything. And the endurance of a 10-year warranty. Now run, swim, bike, no matter where you finish, ride home like a champion.
Claim what should be yours, the Kia Amante, starting around $24,000 after cash back.
Big people, little people, older people, younger people. All kinds of people need medicines but don't have prescription coverage. It's personal to them, so it's personal to us. That's why we offer help at Pfizer Helpful Answers, with all kinds of programs to help all kinds of people get the Pfizer medicines they need. No matter what your age or income, if you don't have prescription coverage, you can save on Pfizer medicines. You may even get them for free, depending on your income. So call us at 1-866-706-2400 to get personal help. One call for your Pfizer medicine and for your family's medicine. Call Pfizer Helpful Answers at 1-866-706-2400 or visit PfizerHelpfulAnswers.com. Because if you don't have prescription coverage, now one call fits all. Pfizer participates in the Partnership for Prescription Assistance, a way to get help paying for your other medicines.
Hello, my darling. Your last blossom beckons. I am so congested. If only my medicine could treat and help prevent these seasonal nasal allergy symptoms.
Only Nasonex is clinically proven to both treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion. Only Nasonex. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
I have returned my flower, a changed bee.
For seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, Nasonex is the one to treat and help prevent congestion. Talk to your doctor.
Next on the Northwest's only all-local evening newscast, a serial rapist is taken off the streets. How police captured this criminal on the run. Plus, they've spent 2 weeks in the devastated Gulf Coast. How many Oregon soldiers are home tonight? Next.
Finally tonight, we have trouble thinking of anyone who compares to our Person of the Week. He's quite literally responsible for bringing one of the most distinctive parts of American culture into the mainstream. Some people call his success a change in the cultural center of gravity. His legacy is already enormous, and he's still going strong.
A lot of people think that when you play blues, it's only because you blue. I can play blues and feel better, because blues to me is sort of like a tonic. It's good for whatever ails you.
B.B. King has been playing the blues for 60 years. On Monday, the Library of Congress awarded King its Living Legend Medal.
I'll try my best the rest of my life to be worthy of having this to look at myself.
He has a new album out this week, a new memoir, and today he celebrates his 80th birthday. B.B. King's singular style on the guitar comes from growing up on the Mississippi Delta.
Most of the blues singers usually have a bottleneck that they put on the finger and they can use it. Well, I've got stupid fingers that I could never get them to do anything there. But I like that sound. So to me, it would sound like that.
One musician said his tone is as close to the human heart as you can get.
And I believe this truly, that the musician, serious musician, sings or play an instrument from what he feels inside. I'd say from the heart.
He has played for presidents.
My neighbor and friend from Itta Bena, Mississippi, B.B. King. Please come up, B.B.
And popes and audiences throughout the world.
Thrill is gone, baby. Thrill is gone away from me.
B.B. King was born Riley King, the son of a Mississippi sharecropper.
I was a field hand when I was 7 years old.
The guitar was his way out. At the age of 12, he was on the street corner singing. When he was 20, King moved to Memphis and worked as a DJ. On the air, Blues Boy King would sing and play the guitar. He was soon discovered, got his own record contract, and soon Blues Boy became B.B. He says his guitar has always been his faithful companion.
That's my girl. Only girl I ever had that never argues with me.
I don't sing and play at the same time, he says. Lucille is one voice and I'm the other. When one is singing, the other wants to listen. That self-taught style is unmistakable.
For example, nobody loved me but my mother. And she could be jiving too. That.
B.B. King and Lucille are out there on the road 150 nights a year. The 80-year-old says he's only had 3 months off in 60 years and no plans to retire anytime soon. And the people along the Gulf Coast, where he is from, sure could use his music now. B.B. King is celebrating his birthday today with his family in Las Vegas. He says it's a myth that the blues is all about sadness. Mr. King believes music is really the story of life. That's World News Tonight. 2 program notes. Later on Nightline, Ted Koppel talks to the president of Venezuela, who accuses the U.S. of plans to invade his country. And Sunday morning on This Week, George Stephanopoulos will interview former President Bill Clinton. I'm Bob Woodruff. We hope you have a great weekend. Good night.
Tonight, they're America's hottest couple, Lance Armstrong and Sheryl Crow, just engaged, and Lance still battling controversy. And while everybody's talking about them, they're talking only to 2020. And just wait till you hear what they have to say on 2020 Tonight.
Now, on K2 News at 6:30, a dangerous serial rapist off your streets. The watchful neighbor that may have kept him from attacking again. Plus, a tale of 2 cities. K2 explores one part of New Orleans about to welcome people home and another worried about how they'll keep them out. And are we ready for a major earthquake? What's going on deep below that has geologists watching and wondering if the big one's about to hit?
Live from K2, the Northwest only all-local 6:30 newscast with Steve Dunn and microcast weather with Rod Hill. K2 and you, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. Our top local story, police say Carl Harrison is easily one of Oregon's most dangerous sexual predators. Tonight, they're trying to get him sent back to prison for the rest of his adult life. K2's Elaine Murphy has more on how his 2-week disappearance came to an end.
Robert Choate is a park caretaker. A week and a half ago, he saw a man near the restroom.
He's right back in here.
His sleeping bag was on the ground. He had broken into the restroom to clean up.
He just win you with how pleasant he was, you know.